It's a 1916 Duchess. The brand is called Duchess. Anybody that's in the bakery business would know what a Duchess is. So we flatten out this 8-pound dough, put it in there, we manually pull it down, and there's cutter blades in there, and it cuts it into 36 even pieces. Then we hand roll them and put them on the trays and proof them up. Back in May of 2009, I was over at the coffee shop at the Mulberry Cafe, and we got word that the donut shop was going to close up, the Clare City Bakery. And it was one of the foundation businesses downtown, and everything was closing up in 2009. We were going to have 6 closed storefronts on this side of the street. So at lunch, I went back and brought it up to the guys. Hey, you know, the bakery's going to close. And while we're sitting there eating pizza, we thought, you know, maybe we could chip in some bucks and keep the place open.
So we ate a little bit more pizza and we thought about it, and I got up from the table and called the owner. This is a town of 3,000 people. I knew the owner. I call him up and I said, hey, the rumor is you're going to close the bakery. And he says, yeah. He says, I just don't want to do it anymore. And so I asked, well, why don't you sell it? He says, I've been trying to sell that old bakery for 2 years. Nobody will buy it. I can't sell it at any price. I'm just going to close the doors. I'm tired of it. And so I went back, shared that with the other guys, and one of the guys says, well, why don't we buy it? And everybody starts laughing. And somebody says, right, the town's only donut shop closes, and who comes to the rescue but the entire police department? And then we kind of stopped laughing, and everybody went,
We got a hold of all of the owners, or all of the full-time cops, and said, do you want to be owners? And I put together a little budget. We figured out some numbers on the pizza box and played with the numbers for a couple weeks. Everybody said yes. We threw in the money and we put it all together in a matter of a month.
The word had been going around town, you know, that the cops were going to buy the donut shop, and everybody was kind of curious. And so we didn't know what the first day was going to be like. And it was more kind of local people coming in, just kind of curious what these crazy cops had done. And a news reporter from the Morning Sun came in and wanted to do a story on the entire police department buying the town's only donut shop. And so she came in, she took some pictures, she did some interviews, and the next day it was the front page story in the Morning Sun.
Yeah, we started, our intentions was just to save the bakery and have about 5 or 6 employees. We hit the Associated Press within the first couple days. That first Sunday afterwards, we were in every print newspaper in the world that the Associated Press had. Our web hits were crazy because we had a website up. So immediately we knew we had at least a big pop in the beginning. So we bought this building that we're in now to the north of us, expanded in there by Labor Day. We did just those 2 buildings until the spring of 2012, and we realized it was going to keep growing, so we bought that building. So then we have 3 storefronts. We doubled the kitchen size. We've now actually tripled the production capabilities in the kitchen, and we're actually, this spring, we're going to build on to the back of the kitchen. Donuts, we start right from scratch. We used a raised day donut mix from Dawn, and we mix it up fresh every day. It's got to be mixed. We come out, it's about a 90-pound ball. We start dividing it. We roll it out. Everything is done by hand. We then proof them off in the proofer, and then they go over, and their guy stands there by hand and flips them all and fries them off like the old days. No automation. Then from there they cool, and then they go up to the girls that frost and fill them, and then during the day they're out there being sold. So a lot of people don't realize that one little donut at our bakery here has about 5 or 6 people that work on that one little donut. When you go to pick that donut up, 5 people were employed for you to eat that one donut. That's what makes us different. You can go read our labels and you can read the words on it. Ingredients, you can read the words. Water, salt, sugar, you know, a lot of other things. You go and you pick them up and you go to read the ingredients. You can't even describe the word that's on there. You don't want that stuff.
We get 2 of the sugar and 1 of the chocolate chip. Oh, I can.
About 6 million, there's about 6 million in the United States. It's like it used to be in winter.
Greg always has a coffee in his hand, you know. Greg likes his donuts and cookies, and he dearly loves his coffee. Yes, he does.
Do you ever see him sneaking a few donuts while he's on the job?
Yes. Greg has been known to do that, yes. He'll pick one up and say, oh, this one's damaged. I better get rid of it.
Oh yeah, if there's something broke or something like that, you can't let it go to waste. I might break a piece off and eat a little bit of it, so occasionally. Yep, we'll cheat once in a while.
Steal donuts?
Bubba does quite often. Yep.
I can tell you I haven't had a donut in I don't know how long, because once you own a donut shop, it's kind of, you know, it's not the treat it used to be, but I do sample new products, so I get to do that. That's nice.
Well, I've never been in a corporate bakery, but we've had some people that work for us that have, and they're just very structured, and you know, certain people do this certain thing, and we're big enough now that we've got people that focus on everything, but we all intermix and do everything. Even though I'm an owner and run the office all the time, today you can see I'm sweaty. We're doing production for punchkis to ship out across the entire country. So I'm back there and helping them mix batter, helping them cut donuts, and that's when I get sweating, because we use the old manual hand Dutchess to cut them all. And so we all, when we need to, we all chip in and do everything.
Before I worked here, worked Hamilton Pastries in Midland.
Okay. And this
That
guy's
was-
name is Matt Hamilton.
Yes. That was my dad's shop and then my shop. We had the shop for 46 years. Then due to the economy, I had to close down.
Yeah. And then?
And luckily,
And then luckily for us, he said yes, that he'd come work.
they came over and bought some equipment like these benches. I've been working on these benches my whole life.
Yeah, both of
They
these.
came from my shop.
Yeah.
And Greg walked into the office and said to me, how much is it going to get me to have you come work for us?
That's exactly what I said.
That's what he said.
Yeah. And he's here.
And he was on his hands and knees at the time.
That might be stretching.
Oh yeah, like I got grease marks here, I got grease marks there, but that's just part of the job. You just have to keep on going through. There's some times where it's like really slow, but as you can see, today is not slow at all, and the time flies. But like I said, I just like it where you're just being part of something. Like I said, it's being shipped halfway across the world, maybe, you know. It's like, not a lot of people say, hey, I made that, you know. I was part of that.
Right now, we have a list of probably 40 franchise locations of people that would like to do franchises. If we would have jumped on that and franchised, we would have had to done some sort of an agreement, probably with Dawn, and done automated donuts. Automated donuts are filled with preservatives, and then you're into all these trademark donuts that you hear of, where they make them in a factory, they freeze them, they ship them out, they throw them in an oven to thaw them out, and then they put a sign up, fresh baked donuts. No, they're not. They're fried in a facility filled with preservatives, then put in an oven to warm them back up and serve them. And we didn't want to do that. And if we would have said yes to everybody, we would have been into that process and probably would have been franchised. If we said yes to every delivery person that wanted us to deliver to them, we wouldn't be able to get the product out to them. So, yeah, we have the potential for so much growth that I could just go hog wild. We could add on another 100 stops with our delivery, but I don't want to do that because then our production's not going to be able to keep it. So we're keeping a spigot on it. We're growing it as fast as we can, but still having a handle on it. We could have ruined it. There's no doubt about it. If we would have said yes to everybody, we'd been out of business by now. We wouldn't have been able to do it.
Sometimes it feels like you're running down that hill as a kid and you get going so fast your legs can't keep up with you. I feel like that every day, yeah.
Do you guys have plans for the future, moving on together?
World domination, yeah. I want everybody in the world, if they hear the word donut, to think Cops and Donuts. No,